Oh, snap. It's time to yap. And I'm your host, Big C, and welcome to another episode of Just Yapping. So, today's episode, we're going to try to cover entertainment events. You heard it, entertainment events. I'm going to try to cover different types of events like football and basketball and hockey and all those cool events, circuses and music events, right? All that cool stuff. And then we're going to talk about the soaring ticket prices, right? And how maybe I'm not here to say this is the website to look at and you're going to have W whatever. Let's get these ticket prices for this amount because I'm not for that, right? So, and the last is going to be like the crazy part of going to these events is protecting your family from all the violence and stuff that's going on through the stands and people getting drunk, all that stuff, all right? So we begin entertainment, right? People work hard, people save money and want to spend money to have a good time, either by yourselves. If you don't have, like children, people spend money and they're going to if they enjoy those types of events, right? Or you can just have the luxury and stay home, right? But we want from time to time, we want to spoil ourselves and go to these events, whether it's a soccer game in the summertime to see who doesn't want to see a professional soccer team, right? Or a professional football team, or a professional basketball team, volleyball, hockey, whatever. Or go to a circus, right? Or see your favorite rock band or hip hop or pop, whatever, right? It's all out there. You just punch it in the computer and everything pops up. How much, where, what city, what town, the season, everything, right? The crazy part is that you like it's changed throughout the years, right? Because of the entertainment, what it brings, right, to the table, who it affects, the different types of cultures that are out there. Does that make sense, right? Because from my upbringing to what it is now, it's totally changed, like everything else, right? So I recall going to sporting events when I was younger, right? And everything was cool, everything was nice, everybody loved each other. We all cheered for the same team, or if the opposing team was there, all love, right? It's so much fun to have your kids, if you do have kids, or the kids of other people, just enjoy themselves because it's going to leave a long-lasting impression on when they get older, the experiences that they had, they can talk to their friends about. Or, hey, this weekend I went to a game, or I went to a wrestling match, or I went here, I went there. The children love it the most. And taking my son to certain events like that, it just brings joy, right? Because I know when my older brother took me to sporting events or whatever, I still remember it after all these years because it was great. We had a great time, right? That's what you want. You want joy in your life. So you bring them to the right event. I've learned in the past where I paid X amount of money. Well, we'll get to that. I paid X amount of money for certain tickets, right? And my little guy was probably 3, really not understanding. He wasn't really understanding the whole gist of it. Make a long story short, it was like he really didn't want to be there. He just went because I thought he'd love to go, and have a great time. He was literally scared. And then we ended up in a super shopping center where they had animals and pets that cost me like $2 for animal feed. We should have went there from jump, right? But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. That's why I think you kind of like want to say, hey, would you want to go here and get the kids involved and be like, yeah, pop? Or if, I keep saying the kids because they're the ones that get the most enjoyment out of, seeing a concert or seeing the best, professional athletes. They love it the most, right? But, being if you're single or you have, your significant other and you also enjoy, a Broadway show or you enjoy a circus or stuff like that, man, that's cool. That's awesome because you are a kid at heart. You love that stuff. It brings enjoyment to you, right? It brings, you feel it. It brings that thing to you, right? So A few weeks ago, like we went to see Army at West Point. And listen, if you hear stuff come out of my mouth and I just say it, I say it. There's no copyright content, none of that. I'm just saying it just to say it. Okay. So we go to West Point. We go see Army play. Mind you, they're doing really well. It's been a long time. They're doing well. Congrats to them. Uh, it was great to see the guys parachute. Oh, they do that unless, if it's windy and they don't do it, obviously. To see the guys parachute, my son's never seen that before. See the guys parachute from the helicopter down to bring the football to the 50-yard line. Oh, he was in awe. And then the cannons that surprised him that he almost jumped off the friggin' bleachers because he was like, Dad, what's that? I'm like, calm down. It's part of the event. It's cool. And to see that and the cheering and all that, the cadets, he loved it. It's going to leave a long-lasting impression in his brain that, hey, my pop took me here. You know what I'm saying? It's great. Concerts, all that stuff. It's a lot of fun if you can afford it. That's the next part of this is ticket prices, man. Ticket prices are unbelievable. Listen, for those who can afford it, thank you. You're doing your thing. But for those that really, really can't, I feel for you. Like, unfortunately, you have to sit there at home and watch it on TV, like some of I still do. It's crazy. Like, I went to a sporting event with my older son. We decided to go to a game. You're already, if I say it, you're gonna know who's my favorite football team on the NFL. We go to a Friday game, daytime. It was the only Friday game ever in history. The tickets were $300 a pop. Don't get me wrong, we had great seats. The seats were fire, right? $300 a pop, plus the service fee that they have, and then parking, and then a tailgate thing that I paid for. Before you know it, it was probably close to $1,000. Now, some of these ticket guys, these ticket company thingies that sell you the tickets, they come out, I think the market, I think it's like 30% of what you paid for. Like if it's $300, the 30%, what is that, $90, right? And if my math is wrong, tell me. But it's right, it should be $90 in addition to what you're paying, plus parking and food and da-da-da. So that's for one Mind you, now I don't know if I said it, but the parking that day was $75. $75. Now, if you have a family of 5, times that by 3, food, each additional person buying that ticket has to pay those $90. I'm not a quick mathematician. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable how these charges are just like, they talk about like during emergencies and stuff like that. The gas stations do the price gouging, right? For how much gasoline and $10 for a gallon. Unreal, right? But you can get in trouble for that. But you can't get in trouble for ticket gouging, like ticket pricing. It's ridiculous. You can't enjoy a show without spending a fortune, including to these amusement parks. I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, really. So for the amount of money that you spent on one event, and I'm not saying don't go to these events. I don't want any company being like, oh, because of you, people aren't coming to my event. No, I'm saying like, if you enjoy it, do it. Hey, more power to you, all this other stuff. Fantastic. But I'm just saying, like, these prices are insane. And why? It's because the guys that they're drafting or bringing in or doing whatever are getting umpteen $1 million contracts. And we got to pay for that as fans. That's the sad part. But again, you could stay home and order wings. And if you drink alcohol, remember, responsibly. Drink alcohol and do your thing and stay home, and you don't have to drive, you don't have to do anything, and it's free, right? You probably just pay for chicken wings and dip, which that's expensive too, but still, right? You could just stay home. But from time to time, you do want to go out and have fun and have a great time, boys, girls, just amongst people, right? Have a great time. That's what it's about. Let's go out and enjoy ourselves. But it's insane that the ticket prices are totally insane. The other thing, it's like I've heard this, that if you have a ticket for a certain event, you can wait until, let's say, the first pitch at a baseball game, or the first snap at a football game, or the first hockey puck drop at a hockey game. Ticket prices go down. I don't know the websites. I probably do. And if I did, I wouldn't say it on here because I'm not getting anything from them. They're not getting anything from me. I'm just saying there are probably websites out there that you can look up to say, hey, you can get a cheaper price if you come at this time. And they do. And I've heard that. And people are like, oh my God, $40. I sat, okay, great. But I'm one to go. I want to be there. I want to see everything like, Star Spangled Banner, and see who's coming in to perform, until the end, right? If I'm going to pay the price, I want to stay. You know what I'm saying? The final bit to this, and it's happening, and you can see it on YouTube, you can see it on Instagram, you could probably see it just on regular news television. The violence that goes on at these places are absolutely absurd. Absurd. Families bringing their kids, the families are fighting in front of the kids. People are beating each other up, throwing beer on each other, doing all types of stuff. I don't want to get sued or anything for saying this, but the big problem is the alcohol inside the stadium that they sell. But I can't prevent you from doing that because you're an adult. And the big, large companies that sell those products have the right to do it. So that'll never end. But it's true. You tailgate, people who do drink alcohol get mangled. Listen, I've done it, but I know how to be respectful, and I know what I'm there for is to see the show, have a great time, and go home, right? You get people they call beer muscles. You get people that get swole, and they weigh 100, no disrespect, 180 pounds or 140 pounds, and they drink beer. They're 230. They want to swell. They want to fight. What you staring at? Oh, you're this fan? Oh, I'm from here, and they swell. They want to get diesel, and then you fight, and then you go to jail. So the price of the tickets is going to be more because you wind up in jail, right? So people got to be smart out there. If you're going to go to a venue where there's kids and all that other stuff, just be easy. Dude, it's a game, right? It's a game. You're cheering for your team because you chose that, right? You chose that. You want to go there and you want to have fun. That's got to stop. People are getting hurt. People are seriously getting hurt. Listen, my mom didn't raise a punk. And I'm not telling you people to sit out there and just like not defend yourselves. I'm telling you you guys need to stop. Look at the people that lost all that money over the summertime in the summer soccer game in Florida. People thought they had the right to climb fences and break into the venue when people bought tickets for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a head. And guess what? That's not fair, man. That's not cool at all. I'd be upset too. These people are like, look, we paid X amount of money on these tickets and we can't get it back because people got in there for free and jumped in my seat. Did the venue where it was held, did the police and all that other stuff, did they do a great job? Yeah, because they had X amount of police officers at the time. You tell me, let's say 5,000 cops, you can't fight 80,000 people, which turned it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be lying, but the stadium held 35 and there were probably over 100 and some odd plus thousand people there. Yeah, okay. Listen, you don't pay me enough to stop a zoo of people coming to try and hurt me to get into a game. What can you do? You can only do so much because I'm not going to stop a mob of people just to get into a venue to do certain things. But I heard some news, but I'm not going to say the news. You can probably just look it up, right? Of different sporting events that are coming here to the United States. Other countries, listen, they throw flares, they do any, that's on them. But I'm just saying here, I had the thought of taking my son who roots for a team that's not from New York, right? It's another team, and they just played over the weekend. They got spanked, by the way. He likes that team. But my thought was like, if I take him to that game and he wears the gear for that game, the home team is going to be like, boo, you suck, blah, 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 whatever derogatory stuff they're going to say to a 13-year-old. Then Pop's got to get involved. Listen, I'm going to defend my kid or my kids to the fullest. I'm not going to let nobody step on my kid. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do that. Have a little respect. There's kids here. What are you teaching them if you're not, whatever, right? You know where this is going to. And then my other thought was like, hey, why don't I just take him to be safer to the team that he likes? Why don't I take him to their home team stadium, spend the night, and we'll have a great time? That never happened. You know why? Because I went on to Ticketmaster. Oop, I shouldn't have said that, but Ticket whatever, and this place and that place and the hotel from there. Look, by the time I clicked send or total, it was the price of a family vacation for a week. And it was just this thing was playing overnight. And all. So I was like, hey, son, you know what? We'll just watch it on television. That's what we did. We had a great time. And plus, there's better viewing. You could see it, live. You could see everything that's going on. So my thing is that if people plan to go into a venue, especially the other stuff that's going around you, because there are people that want to harm us, right? There are people that want to go out there, and you have to be safe in everything that you do. Getting to and from your car, leaving the stadium, driving, because you don't know who's following you. Guys got to be very, very smart out there, right? And hold the hands of your little guys, right? Don't let those kids go. Because I've been there before, and it's quick. You turn your back and I'm there. And then where'd you go? And you whatever. People who have children, like parents who have children, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody else, let's be mindful. Let's stick up for one another. We need to stop these sporting event violent fights and all that other stuff. Go there and enjoy yourselves. For real. That's what you need to do. You need to go there and enjoy yourselves. Have respect for one another. I say this, I'm going to say it all the time. We can't keep doing this, then people are not going to want to go anywhere. They're going to start, and a good thing to do is that if you don't want to go to a sporting event, like a large professional sporting event to deal with that type of stuff, support your local minor league teams. They need your love too. Or your local high school teams. They need the community's love. Bring a little kid to a game, to a soccer game or to a baseball game. Or, excuse me. They need that love as well, right? They see the community, because if your kids or whomever are going to go to that school district, guess what? They love to see Mr. So-and-so. He was at my game. He's been coming to my game the whole time. I still, once in a blue moon, if my older son's high school, he's been out of school probably 11, 12 years. When they're in any kind of playoff championship, back up the family, we'll go. We'll still go cheer them on. Why? Why not? It's a lot of fun. Right? So with that being said, I appreciate your time. I hope that you get something out of this. Again, I'm not saying do not go to a sporting event or a concert. I love concerts. Go to a concert or go to a show or go to that, right? You need to do it, right? You need to get out once in a while. If you do save and have the money, you're going to have a great time. But you are the person in control of what you're going to do that day, right? Or that night. You're going to have fun. The key is to go out and have fun, have a great time. With that being said, if you get the time and you go on to my YouTube page down below, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Big C. The best remedy is to keep yapping. Peace.